hopefully without robotic voice. Although I'm not sure it's been fixed. It sort of sounds the same to me. So is that better or exactly the same? Okay, fixed. Interesting. I didn't even bother to restart my system. I just fully shut down OBS and restarted it. So that's good. Does anyone have the weird command that Paladin pasted earlier to disable HPET? For some reason it wasn't working on this OS. Because that might get me more... My NOS fan. Okay. Gotta get our priorities straight here. So my issue is I can BCLK up higher now, but I need to disable platform clock in order to be able to use BCLK OC in the OS. But isn't it funny because enabling it is use platform clock true. So it's weird. You would think it's use platform clock false and use platform clock true, but it's actually use platform clock no and true. No isn't the opposite of true. These Windows engineers, they're just not good at their job, I think, is a summary of that. These reboots are taking quite long. Twitch is kind of funny with counting viewers. It takes quite a while to for it to go back to, you know, whatever, 8 viewers from 0. It's still showing me RTC. Let's try the delete value thing. Is the robot voice back? No. I don't get it. Where is it coming from? What is the source of robot voice? Okay, let's try this delete value thing. Use the goddamn script. I know. Now, the really weird thing that I can't figure out is I hear the robotic voice a little bit here too, which I don't know where that's coming from because the only speakers I have here are on my laptop and they're hard disabled via function key. So why would the robotic voice be audible to me? I don't really get it. Maybe it's actually some sort of defect in my mic. That's the only plausible sort of thing, but then it's also connected to my capture card. HDMI. Yeah, could be. Illuminati. Okay, let's see if I hear it. It seems okay for me, but that's not a good indication of anything. It's still there. The real time, like, GPI is still showing that RPC is enabled. There may not be a way of disabling it on this platform. What the hell? Are you serious? Oh no, these are old. Okay. Let's, so I haven't actually passed anything yet because, okay, let's try like 111 BCLK then. Sound spikes. We're getting closer to the deleting. That's all I can say. Okay, let's just try booting 112. Screw it. But Rave, was it actually fixed on the desktop? I mean, clearly whenever I'm rebooting, it's never been a problem. Well, that seems to be booting at 112. It's pretty nice. If I get 4,000, I'd be happy. Earlier on, Bilko mentioned 2,000 per core as a good goal in Geekbench. Yeah. Almost rebooted. So now it's robot voice again, right? Yeah, but you have better cooling. Okay, let me try one thing. Okay, that didn't work as expected. I thought I could unplug the pass-through cable and still see the monitor on my OBS, but clearly not. Gotta mess around a little bit more with some settings. Maybe there's an on-robot voice filter. Okay, this is really weird. What can I say? Just, yeah, tell me whenever it goes away. I'm just changing a few settings that may impact it. Gone away. Okay. I didn't really do anything, but I'll just keep these settings. Yes, I'm not touching anything. Promise. No more sound setting changes unless it comes back. I'd be curious to watch back the stream actually to see how bad it was. What torture I subjected you guys to. Alright. It's my normal voice again. Isn't that great? And I still have 6 viewers. That's impressive considering the torture. But my RAM fan is looking pretty. So I have that one thing going for me. The Irish Australian thing. Fair enough. All right, I'm hoping for over 4,000 here. I'll have to see whether there's any way whatsoever to disable HBET on this platform. Come on. Gotta be joking. I wonder what that even was. Blue screen. Yeah. All right, it's deleting, guys. Deleting time, guys. If this chip dies, I won't care whatsoever. Let me see if I can set up. Is this reasonable? I think this is a reasonable setup. Let me know if it's too... We have audio, that's always a good thing. Let me know if it's too dark. I can turn up the light a little bit, actually. Oh yeah, that's max light. So I have never deleted AMD before. Never, ever, ever, ever. So this is how I do it on Intel. I don't have a chat box. Hold on, let me add a chat box. We need chat box for this. SMDs on the floor. Look, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'd be happy just with bent pins. But this is an absolute bottom of the barrel chip. So and apparently you can also you know, what you call it, use a heat gun to reattach the SMDs in some cases. It's making noise. I should probably have looked at the orientation of the chip first, but I didn't. You don't have to tune in. You don't have to tune in. I'm going to draw it out. Just inching forward a tiny bit. Okay, let's undo it a little bit, you know, just to... You can't look away. I knew this would be popular for one reason or another. Do we get any kind of resistance yet? No. No movement whatsoever. It's a locked dual core. I mean... Okay, let's soften the glue. Alright. Alright, good idea. Let's soften the glue. That's a good idea. I actually kind of agree with that idea. Let's get our venom out. I can do it on the motherboard, but I need a tray or something. We need an AMD tray, or like a piece of something. I don't want to bend all the pins. I want to kill the chip a different way. Is that going to work? Probably not. Oh, I should have left my thermal probe in there. Okay, just gonna play it by ear. I don't need a thermal probe. The chip is probably gonna die anyway, so you know, what's the point? Okay, that's enough. Yeah, that's nicely warmed up. Who said my stream wasn't exciting? You get to see flames and shit. Let's try and push the same direction as before. Can always go back for another flamethrower session. I'm sad that I don't have, 500 viewers yet. Crazy man, Dilid's CPU. Okay, I think the crunch point has arrived. Either that or the chip is gonna jump out of the vice at me. This is harder than deleting an Intel CPU. I have to say Intel is ahead of AMD in that department. Never thought I'd be doing physical exercise on a stream. It's not budging. Should I be getting the razors out? Maybe I need to heat it up again. It's soldered. Okay, that's hot to the touch. It's not soldered though. It's an FM2 CPU. Yeah, it's heated up much more this time. Is it actually soldered? So one jaw is on the PCB, other way around. One jaw is on the PCB and one is on the IHS. So there's a gap here. So you should be able to push the IHS in this direction. But the only thing that's happening is that the vise is coming apart, which is really odd for something that's supposed to be not soldered. I mean, if I were heating it up any more than I did, I'd probably kill it just with heat. So it's not heat that's the problem. I'm not really sure I'd get anywhere. AMD stronger than Vice. I'm not really sure I'd get anywhere with anywhere further with the razors. I can try, but I have even less experience. 70 degrees. Okay, that's more or less what I did with the torch. Shirts off. That's more or less what I did with the torch. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe my vice is just shit. Okay, let's at least take these out of the packet. Serious stuff now. I feel like there's more chance of an injury with these things though. I mean, I'm not seriously actually. Oh, that's rather easy compared to the vice. Just compared, not easy in an absolute sense, just easier. The lighting is kind of crap, isn't it? Well, now it's too bright, but it just has to work for me. Oh God. Well, that's not really any better, but just gonna give it another go in the vise to see how much I've done, how much less resistance there is now, if any less resistance. No. They really didn't make this easy, did they? Who else here has deleted an FM2 CPU? Okay, but not. Yeah, but Billzoid killed lots of them. I'm gonna try and do better than that. I know it doesn't look like it. So has anyone here done the razor method? Or is it all deleting tools? I think that's what's happening. I'm not getting the corners at all. If anything, you need to cut in the most in the corners. That's more like it. At least need that much. How can I not, like, my exposure needs to be way down. Yeah, even that is reasonable. Okay. That's the top right corner done very well. Maybe too well, but you know. Use that for reference. Okay, maybe I should do that. As much as I like killing stuff, maybe I should do that. Okay, yeah, so I can do lots in the corner. Have to be careful kind of in the middle. There's one odd corner where I can go into the middle as well, but who cares? Okay, yeah, so I can do lots in the corner. It's basically the summary of that. I'm confident this is an 8 gigahertz GPU or CPU, and I'm just getting ready for its 8 gigahertz run, you know? only paste on the cores though. It's not. There's no actual like glue outside of the corners, is there? Just seems very solid for something that's been weakened so much already. Well, are you still here, Ella? Or have you already given up on this travesty of a D-LED? That is a lot. Okay, this is looking better. Possibly. Potentially. Just don't want to go too far, but there's no sort of snap sound like on an Intel CPU sometimes. Okay. As far as I'm willing to go. Yeah, it's moved. The IHS has moved for sure. Yeah, okay, you can't see it, but maybe you can sort of make it out. It's moved a millimeter. Now I should move it the other way, basically, because I don't want to hit the SMDs. Oh, done. I just want to let you guys all know that from a physical perspective, I didn't fuck up the CPU at all. All the SMDs are still there. Yep. Done. That was both harder and less hard than I thought it would be, if that makes any sense. But it's not, I mean, I didn't cut into the PCB. I didn't bend any pins. I didn't do any visible physical damage to it at all. So, yeah, fuck it. Let's just slap on the cooler and see if it posts. Of course, now the IHS is attached to the bottom of the H212. Okay. It's giving me a 0-0, guys. You know what? I actually think it's a heat death rather than a dilating death. I really think I may have torched it up too high. I honestly can't see any physical damage. Yeah, maybe it's the paste. Running a CPU without paste doesn't kill it. I was just trying to post it, that's all. Where's my IHS gone? Yeah. How do I clean this stuff? Alright, dead. Dead as dead. No heating up of the next chip. I'm getting another chip. I'm giving it another try. I think it was the heat. I'm going to do exactly the same thing and not going to heat it up. I don't need this chip anyway, so... Yeah, it could be a contact thing. Yeah, you're right. Oh, hold on. I see it now. It's time to give up on this chip. Yeah. Look, if I was gonna kill a chip on my stream, it better be this one because it's such a waste of space. Okay. Thermal paste everywhere. Yeah. I think it was the heat. Hold on. I need to run this chip before I try to delete it. I don't even know if it's a good chip. So this is a. Can you see that? It's a 7600. Oh, it's a 7650K. Okay. Never mind. No, I'm going to get a different chip. Um, this is a 6 series. This is a 6600K, I think. Uh, yeah, this is not even an 8 gig chip. This is not the. Just checking for bent pins. Okay, got a post there. Hi, Costa. It's FM2. Yes, dealer. AMD DLID, which is harder than Intel DLID. One of the few things that AMD is worse at than Intel. So no heat this time. I think heat killed it. I think we briefly went above TJ Maxx or whatever. This is kind of fun though. Doing something that's not benching for a change. Can't really see very much. Well, the exposure is kind of okay. Could be worse. I try to do this with like a carpet knife sort of thing instead of a razor once. That was a bad idea. As in, I stopped. I didn't complete the deal and I didn't kill the card. It was an Nvidia card. But these blades are much better, obviously. So I've exhausted my budget of killed chips now. That means no killed chips on LN2. That's great. It's usually LN2 stuff that I actually care about, which is a bit paradoxical, I have to say. Has Ella given up? Has she left the stream? She seemed a bit distraught about what I'm doing to these chips. What's wrong with your CPU, Costa? Maybe we can help. Okay, let's give it a first wiggle. See where we're at. I have an idea of what a completely unheated... That pick, yeah, I will. Definitely. Thanks, Blico. I have an idea of what it felt like to try and delid just with the vice. So now I have an idea of, you know, what's good and what's bad. Posted another, okay. I'll check in a second. Okay, let's have a look. So the first two are the first two versions of FM2, and the second two are FM2 Plus, I'm guessing. Yeah, come on. Oh, you have an M motherboard with a K skew. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Okay, I don't know about that. Can you overclock K skews with an M motherboard? I thought you couldn't. I thought that was the whole thing about Intel. I mean, if you're happy with that, you're happy with that. I'm not saying it's a bad move or anything. Yeah. Okay, well, in that case, we can't help you because you bought a combination of hardware that can't overclock, but I'm sure you're happy with it. It's Haswell. Haswell is great. There's nothing wrong with Haswell. Oh, you were unaware that he can't overclock. Is that it? Well, that sucks. Who sold you the hardware? Oh, you were aware. It's toothpaste. Well, you can delay Haswell really easily with a vice. I've done it lots of times. So Costa, are you just saying you kind of you wish you had bought a different board? Like you were aware at the time that the board wouldn't overclock, but now that the platform is getting a little bit older, you would like another board, or would like to have picked another board? Is that what you're saying? Because if you're aware it doesn't overclock and now you're unhappy about that, I mean, that's kind of... Oh, do you buy it at release? Straight after Haswell release? Is that when you bought it? Or was it just a stocking issue? Stock level issue? Okay. How did you manage to... What exactly did you break on your motherboard while installing RAM? Oh, so it knocked a part of the... Oh, it damaged the traces to the first two DIMMs. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's an unfortunate way to lose a motherboard. Quite unlucky. Okay. Fixed as in you send it back to the manufacturer? Do they replace it on warranty? This vice isn't the best, to be honest. It's coming apart. Just a tiny bit too small. Basically. It's designed for these kind of distances. I'm trying to use it further out. Okay. Just have to manually control the length of it. I'm a bit more nervous about this one, guys. It's delivered, but it did give a bang, so I don't know if the SMDs are okay. They're okay. They're all in good shape. Let's just put that on the main camera. It's quite dark in here, so I'm just gonna readjust the lighting. Even that's not really You get the picture. There we go. Just double checking the pins. Got a little bit of thermal grease in there, and there is one slightly bent pin, but that's okay, we can figure that out. Just one. There we go. Looks all right. Let's thermal paste it up. Yeah, I have a better idea of how to do stuff now. I'm not saying this chip is alive, but I have a much better idea of how to do it. Throwing some ultra cheap ceramic paste on there. Now the test. I mean, if there's no physical damage, the only thing that really could be going on is PCB scraping, but I doubt it. If there's no physical damage now, since I didn't heat it, should all be good. Famous last words, I know. It's a nice and snug fit. Just gonna make sure there's mounting pressure on there by just putting my fingers on. Okay, that's a post. Ooh. It warms up quickly though. Alright. Okay, I have a technique now. It's quite easy once you know what you're doing. This one on the other side is gonna end up being a keyring, I think. Yeah, it's a new chip, so maybe we need to clear CMOS. Did we speak too soon? But the other chip didn't need mounting pressure. Let's check terminals. Yeah. Okay, so I think what's just happening is the other chip didn't need mounting pressure because the IHS was glued. But now that the IHS isn't glued, you really need the mounting pressure. So, and thermal paste, yeah, that's true too. It's a little bit of a disappointment because what's the TDP on this chip? Now I'm curious. What did I just delete? I just grabbed a random 6000 series. Hey, don't call me a twat. Seriously, there's no need for that. It's my hardware. I can do whatever I like with my hardware. And if that somehow offends you in some very immature way, then just don't watch my stream, all right? Um, I haven't deleted a chip before, not an AMD one. Certainly, Intel doesn't need the mounting pressure. Um, the issue is I don't really have any cooling methods that are not Sub-Zero. I don't have the mounting for this 212. So I don't really have any air cooler that I can easily attach. I have my AIO. Sit my pot on it. Yeah, maybe. uh, yeah, this is messy. Well, I've repasted under the IHS already. Okay, let's see what that does. Nothing. Clean as in take out the glue as well. Oh, it's 100 watt. It's 100 watt TDP. Maybe that's what's making all the difference here. The other one was 65. Thanks, Ella. On top of the IHS. All right. I mean, to be honest, all I want is just to post, you know? Yeah. Okay, that's way too much. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I might just leave it at that. The chip is good. It did post. I just don't have. It's 1 o'clock at night. I don't have any cooling methods around. I do have stock coolers. If I could just find an AMD stock cooler that fits. delete and then reseal. But then, okay, delete and reseal. The problem with that is, don't you run into the same issues when you're cold? Like on Intel, you want to replace the thermal paste under the IHS every time you pull down. So if you reseal, isn't that a massive pain in the ass? I don't know, maybe it's different on AMD, but anyway, I enjoyed that. I wasn't expecting to try and delete a second chip tonight, but just couldn't help myself. Yeah, the socket locking the IHS down. Yeah, that's true. So would you say remove all of the... Yeah, that's true. Would you say remove all of the old glue and stuff? Yeah, I don't know. Remove all the glue. Okay. Coat. I just have nail polish remover. I don't have nail polish. And that's just for dice. So I... But, and then reseal after that. But why cover the SMDs? I'm not going to be using a conductive paste. What's the big deal with the nail polish? I mean, I'll do it, but I'm just wondering what the idea behind it is. Oh, cold. Okay. Well, that makes sense. We never do that on Intel, though. It's kind of interesting. Oh, I should engage slow mode. I don't care what clocks the thing runs at. I just want to get into BIOS. Yeah, well, I mean, this chip has never seen 8 gigahertz, but I mean, sorry, this model, this SKU, whatever you want to call it. 7.8 is the best one up on the bot, but that doesn't mean it can't do that. It goes full pot, so interesting how much more involved delidding is on AMD. Just had no idea. Should I be bothering with the stuff left over on the PCB? I suppose I should. This is fiddly though. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Most of it was on the IHS though. I will get a better contact now. I mean, significantly better. Let's give it a shot. After that, I'm going to sleep. This time with slow mode. Just So much on. Yeah, can't hold it down. Well, you can't see it, but I'm seeing a post screen. As I'm trying to deactivate and reactivate the lack of my capture card, the lack of mounting pressure stops it. There you go. Proof it's alive. Now I just want to see thermals. Okay. Alright. Clearly, that's just the thermal thing. Clearly, the chip is alright. You saw it with your own eyes. That was just I have just paste everywhere. That's the only thing about benching that I hate, is just there's just paste everywhere. There's no way to avoid it. But anyway, um, thank you for watching. Uh, this is not the exact chip that I'm going to run for Division 6, but I got a little bit of experience on this board and stuff. It might seem like I don't know what I'm doing. That's just stems from the fact that I'm benching a different and completely new platform every stream. It's not going to keep on going like that. Once I've covered all the major platforms, and anytime I have LN2 in, if I'm benching Ryzen, I know what I'm doing. Threadripper, I'm getting there. Intel modern platforms, I'm also getting there, and everything else like X79, I just benched the first time a couple of streams ago, or last stream, but maybe in 2 weeks time or whatever, uh, or a month's time, I'll know more about it, and with that, good night.